Hey, everyone. Suzanne Taylor King here for another live episode of Unlock Your Way with STK. And watch out today because I think the universe knew that there was going to be fire of this conversation because there was tech glitches. And for two tech people to show up and have there be tech glitches, it's the first time it's ever happened to me. So I want to welcome AI enablement coach Rob Cressy. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Suzanne. I am super excited to be here.
I want to just say that for everyone watching who knows me, they know I find the coolest people in the weirdest ways. So I actually did a search on LinkedIn for AI enablement because it's one of my favorite terms. And you popped up, and I was like, who is this guy? And I went from your LinkedIn profile to your amazing website and massive value that you drop on the universe. And I said, oh my God, this whole website and every value bomb on it is done with AI with my favorite tool, Gamma. So I want to just say, well done. I've actually shown your website and your value bombs to my coaching group. So that's a huge compliment.
Thank you. Let me give you a game behind the game right there.
Yeah.
So, in the AI era, there are these moments that we have where the light bulb goes off and you're like, I can't believe what I just experienced. The first one for me was in November 2022 when I used ChatGPT for the first time on the 5th day that it was out. And within the first minute, I felt like I'd used the internet for the first time. And I immediately saw the next decade of business. And I put all my chips in. I was like, I can't believe this is real. I'm all in. This is that thing.
Yeah.
The next one was when I saw Gamma. And I am not somebody who sends presentations and proposals. I'm very conversational in the way that I do business. It's not like, oh, Rob, send me your proposal and we'll get back to you. It's like, nah, dog, that's not how I get down. I'm not a parking lot for doing stuff you don't get back to. But I did have an instance in which I wanted to create a presentation. And one of my friends was like, oh, check out Gamma. And I was like, all right, cool. And in the AI era, there's always going to be a new tool you've never used before. So for me, there's not an intimidation factor on, oh my God, there's something new. It's like, this is just what happens in the AI era. And within using it once where I just sort of, it's like, hey, paste in what you want to put in there. And then like 27 seconds later, it's like, doot. And for me, it was the first experience of what I assume people think agentic AI is. Where you say, put this thing in. And what impressed me was not just the speed, which was just lightning, right? Under a minute, but the quality, right? So I'm somebody who has a very keen design eye. I love clean design. I love good design. I love branding because everything you do is a reflection of your brand, and everything you do is an opportunity to create a positive brand interaction. And all of a sudden with Gamma, I was like, wait a second, what did I just experience here? And it totally, and I'm a master creator, so I can create anything from anything. And one of the things, and Gamma has evolved in this, is they're about bringing ideas to life. So not only is it a presentation, it can be a website or it can be a social media carousel. And what I saw was speed and quality immediately. And at the same time, for many of us, we have WordPress websites for our personal brand or our business. It's nice, paid designer thousands of dollars to create it. It's good, but we also know it can be clunky. It can be slow. It can be hard to update. And sometimes all the stuff doesn't talk like you want it to. Yes, it can be responsive, but if you want to make things very modular, with Gamma, all of a sudden, I was like, wait a second, why would I ever have a website again when this thing can legitimately build me a website in 2 minutes? So the long-winded story, the light bulb for me was, I'm going to create robcressy.ai, which I did, and build it with Gamma. And then instead of I've invested in SEO and blog posts and content marketing for 15 years. It's how I get down. But as a coach, there's a depth to the transformation that you and I deliver. And how can I best do that and package it? Well, all I had to do is eat my own dog food and be like, I just loved that game experience. So I started to build out all my AI frameworks. So the way that I create or use AI, ChatGPT, Claude, whatever for myself, I then share with my clients and then I share with everybody else. Well, I just use Gamma for that thing, because if you're looking to work with someone to help you grow with AI, it sure would be nice if they were using AI and could show you how they used AI. And this isn't the robots are taking over. This is what this looks like to bring ideas to life faster.
And what I love about that is very similar. I experience 5 new tools a week, and I schedule time for those new tools. You know, you get all these AI newsletters, and I have my favorites, but you have to schedule time in order to experience those new tools and play. And having that creative play mindset has really served me really, really well. And my first experience with Gamma was just for a talk I was giving, and I never use slides ever. Very, very rarely. And if I do, they're very small, little just bullet points. And I created a presentation 15 minutes before I was going on live on Zoom with this group. And it was all about AI. And they asked me for slides. And I'm meeting with the person, and I said, "Oh, I don't use slides. I don't." She's like, "Oh, you got to have slides for this." I said, "Hold on 1 second." And I took my whole talk and I shared my screen. And this woman, her brain almost exploded. She was like, "That just took 4 minutes." And I said, "Yeah, that's what's possible with AI." And for me, seeing the future is always something I've been good at. And now with AI, it's like jumping ahead light years. And when I knew, I created a proposal. I don't do that either. You have a talk with me. Let's explore what we're going to do together. And then we decide how much it is. Right. But I sent a proposal, case studies, comparison, like we could do this pathway, we could do this pathway, to a doctor. And he messaged me after. He said, "I have talked to 6 business coaches and asked for proposals, and yours was the only one that included case studies of doctors like me, and it was the only one that looked modern, and I want to know how you created it." I said, "I created it with AI, and I told it what I wanted, and it made that presentation." He said, "Even the pictures of the doctor's office?" And I said, "Yes." And he immediately chose me for $100,000 engagement, because the 5 other coaches he got proposals from looked like outdated crap compared to what I showed up with. So that's when I knew. I knew that I had to go all in on AI and the tools.
I love it. And once again, the game behind the game, and one of the real values of this, and there's so many things that I say over and over again for myself, for my clients, is the more you see, the more you can see. We can't unsee what we've seen with Gamma. That client of yours can't unsee what this is. And so many people are going to get lost in the tools and the tech. Oh my God, they're talking about this new thing that I've never heard of before. But it's not actually about the tool. It's about the thinking, right? How good is AI? AI is so good, it actually can make me want to send a proposal. Because previously it's like, it's hard, it's laborious, it's ugly. I had one that I sent last week for a half-day workshop to do leadership training around AI for this exact thing. He's like, Rob, send me the proposal. And like you, it's just like, okay, I'm going to do this. And I feel so confident in using Gamma, especially because if you ever pull it up on your phone, the mobile version of Gamma, you're like, what? You're like, what is this that I'm seeing right now? So this is now an asset, right?
Yeah.
So congratulations to anybody listening or watching right now, because you just added a super valuable tool in your creator tool belt here. And there are no rules to this. It's a blank canvas right now.
Yeah.
So do you want to use this for social, for website, for proposals, for any of this stuff? It is effortless. And God forbid we train our team on things like this, right?
Yeah.
So this is the beauty of it, is the leader uses it and says, hey, everybody, here's my standard operating procedure for how we go dink, dink, dink. Because of course we use ChatGPT or Claude to design what we want to make it Gamma ready, to where all of a sudden it just goes do, 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 do.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. And I think I'm thinking about the first client that I showed. She is an incredible coach. And we were just having this conversation about modernizing her brand. And I said, let me show you a little something from Rob Cressy. And I said, this whole website is all created with an AI tool that I love. She was like, wow, that looks really sharp, minimal, not like the outdated WordPress site with too much text, the text's too small. Like, and when you really think about stepping into influence and authority in the online space, which is my specialty, my jam, she didn't look the part of this accomplished coach who charges $100,000 for an engagement. She's written 8 books. She's got an incredible quiz, and everything looked $19.99. And I said, what if we could make you landing pages for all your offers and your quiz, all branded? And I just made one for her in 5 minutes and showed it to her while she watched me do it. And we picked out the branding and we picked out the font and the color. And she was like, okay, I need an upgrade with you, Suzanne. So not only did the tool sell the deal for me as a coach, as a mentor, as a guide for people, and I know it's doing that for you because we're part of a coaches group, the coaches operating system. And I watched your conversation with Townsend, and I've known him for years. And I think you expanded everybody's mind with this idea that AI is not going to replace you as a coach, but somebody who knows how to use it is going to get the attention, going to get the contracts, going to get the teaching opportunities. And I think that's really where my passion came from. You know, it's kind of like, I don't know how old you are, but I'm going to assume you remember when cell phones came out. Yep. And they were giant. They were satellite phones, and they were like the size of a shoe. And I remember being out at the club, and I saw a guy with one of those phones, and I was like, what the hell is that? I got to have one. Like, what is it? And this love of technology, where does that come from with you?
So it's interesting. I do not have a tech background. I do not have an AI background. I do not consider myself a coder. But what I am is all in on my dreams, right?
Nice.
So I am unromantic about all of this. And it's such a superpower for me because AI is just a tool for me, right? This is no different than Canva or the Adobe Creative Suite or social media marketing. It's just another thing. It just so happens it's the most powerful thing I've ever seen in my entire life right there. And I'll take you back to, once again, that very first moment that I used ChatGPT. I was already rolling into using ChatGPT great because I earned my confidence in this. I've got the reps as an entrepreneur, as a creator who has done the work both professionally and personally on myself. I'm somebody who coaches high performers, leaders, entrepreneurs, CEOs, their teams. I do keynote speaking. I do workshops, right? So I have no shortage of confidence. So I roll it into all of this, and I sat there and it felt like magic. Legitimately, I couldn't believe it was real. Like for any of us, it's like, I don't even know how this is real, and I'm not even going to try and figure out how it was. And I sat there, and at the time, ChatGPT was free. This is day 5. And I was like, you're telling me, you're giving me, a master creator, this tool for free?
Yeah.
Let's go. Right?
Yeah.
So that's when legitimately I'm all in. And Suzanne, you've got that same thing that I have. And in the market, you hear the people who are all in on AI just shouting from the rooftops of like, holy smokes, this is a big thing. This is the thing. Get on board. But why? Because of what we've seen. And this goes to what I was saying to Townsend Wardlaw's group. I legitimately feel a responsibility and obligation to share this with others because I know how impactful this is going to be in people's businesses and lives. This is not just a business thing because, Suzanne, one of the things you and I have in common is doing the work on the personal growth side of things. I get more value out of self-coaching myself using ChatGPT and Claude than anything else that I do. So this conversation about Gamma, that is one of a million things. So we're not rolling in of like, all they do is Gamma. It's like, no, that's just like in my toolbox right there as a creator. And the reason there's a responsibility is because there's going to be such a big gap. Because if you see the rate in which you and I and both of our clients are growing versus those who not only are at zero, but are resistant. Listen to this story. This is wild. So one day, so I live in Sarasota, Florida. I get this idea. I was like, I'm going to call a random marketing agency in Sarasota and see if they are using AI. That's it. Okay. I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm just going to pick up the phone because, like you, I have conversations all day, every day. I've heard every excuse for why not, every reason why this isn't good for people. And at the same time, I truly want to help. All you need is one conversation with either of us, right? I'll totally change your life and your business forever. So I called them and I was like, hey, can you tell me a little bit more about what you guys do? Oh, we do web design and SEO and digital marketing, right? A traditional digital marketing agency. Well, you and I sitting here, if you're a traditional digital marketing agency and you are not using AI, you are not doing a service to your clients, right? That is like the marketing by design is innovation.
Oh, so, you have 18 months to get your shit together or you're going to be left in the dust.
Right. So I asked all of that and I was like, cool. I'm just curious. How or are you guys using AI or ChatGPT? And the woman on the phone says to me, she goes, we're not using it right now. And that's actually what Sarah over in marketing. I was like, well, cool. Can I have a conversation with her? I'm not here to sell you guys something, but I'm an AI coach and an expert. I truly just want to help any way that I can. And she goes to me, she's about to go on vacation. Can you come back in a month? And my jaw dropped for several reasons. One, they were not currently using AI and ChatGPT. Number two, not only were they not using it, they pushed me away for a month.
Yeah.
Right? So there is the, we don't know this exists, so you're at zero. And then there's the, we're at zero and we are resistant in this. And immediately after this call, and this is on my LinkedIn somewhere, I did a live stream podcast about falling behind with AI will be invisible. Because that marketing agency will have no idea that somebody called them and had the solution to their business problems for the next decade. And they, without knowing it, pushed that person away. and they'll wonder why they're slowly losing clients, where their web design projects aren't getting accepted. Ding, ding, ding. And they're going to have oh, you know what? It's the market. The market's tough out there right now. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be invisible for people, because you're not sitting on your couch being like, I'm just not going to do ChatGPT, whatever. No, it's outside, out of mind. And that's the problem.
Well, I think so many people, I've spoken to 2 groups in the last 3 weeks, a group of CEOs and another group of like higher level entrepreneurs, I would say making over 500,000 a year. And the 2 rooms I spoke to, not a single person was doing anything. They might play with Chat GPT for themselves, but nothing in their business. And my statement was, you have 18 to 24 months to get on board. And I'm not saying you have to be like me and learn all these new tools every week, but you need to learn the tools. What tools does my business need? Is it Chat GPT? Is it Perplexity? Is it Gamma? Is it, and I could run down the list of 1,000 different tools that I've played with that I don't pay for because I don't need them in my business, but I sure as hell know about them because I'm consulting with companies. And I remember this conversation that I had about a year ago that said, Suzanne, I what tools do I need? I'm like, I don't know. We have to dive into your business and we have to see what's a struggle. What do you hate doing? What needs to be automated? What needs to be done faster, more efficiently? And I had this conversation with my assistant who's been with me forever as well. He was not using AI at all. No, I don't need to do that. I said, look, if you're going to be my assistant, you need to be AI enabled. That was the first time I used that term. And I said, if you're not willing to learn from me, and I'll teach you, I'll open up the book and I will show you everything I have learned. But you have to be willing to do that, or I need to leave you behind. And that's my message to every entrepreneur right now. You're going to get left behind and passed over for opportunities because you're not aware of what's happening in this space.
All right. I love this. So I've got 500 plus hours of coaching in AI, specifically group, all these various things right there.
Yeah.
So logically for me to scale what I'm doing, I've created courses where all of these just step by step by step. And I've seen the simplest way to grow. So Suzanne, the thing that is both frustrating and incredibly exciting around the world of growth is all you have to do is be willing to get in the game. Because guess what? You and I both started at 0, right? At one point, we'd never heard of Chat GPT before. Yet somehow everyone's like, I feel so far behind Rob and Suzanne because I'm not blah, 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 blah. Irrelevant. Get in the game. So one of the things that I did for both all of my coaching clients, as well as everybody who worked with me, virtual assistants and all of that, is it was a non-negotiable that they went through my Chat GPT course for how you can leverage this for growth. And here is the beauty of it. All I asked was for them to watch 1 video a day for a month. Total time, 7 minutes or less. That's it. 7 minutes or less once a day. And they just went dink, 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 dink. And what's the beauty of this? My virtual assistants are better at leveraging AI for growth than 99% of CEOs in the world. That's it. What did they have to do? Watch 1 video a day for a month. That's each one 7 minutes. Go in Slack and tell me what you learned in that video. And I share this because it is the biggest opportunity that I just can't believe more companies aren't taking advantage of. Is what's better? A company with nobody using AI, a company with 1 person using AI, or a company with 10 people using AI?
Oh my God.
Smokes.
I can't even, I only have 3 people on my team But if they weren't using AI, and same exact thing, I have training videos, I have a membership area, and just go and watch the videos, and I can tell who's watched them and who hasn't. And then when I send a job off to the assistant who has not embraced this at all, he came back and he said, that took me 8 hours to do. And I said, unacceptable. It should have taken you 20 minutes. What are you doing? And it sparked this conversation for a whole team of virtual assistants. And I ended up getting a talk for a virtual assistant company. And I said, what is possible for all of you if you're making $12 an hour, 15, 20? I mean, some virtual assistants make 50. And if you can do 8 hours worth of work in 20 minutes, what is possible for you? And allow that to motivate you. For God's sakes, I am such a prolific creator as far as content, workshops, members content, Facebook content. My LinkedIn content is separate from Facebook content. Well, people think I'm on social media all the time. That's the most common question I get asked. How do you produce all of that stuff? And I laugh. Like, well, what do you think I do? I use AI to mimic my voice. I made a post about my AI twin, and she creates so much for me. And my friends who are not entrepreneurs, not in the business space, said to me, you have a twin? You have, and I'm like, yeah, I have a custom GPT who knows my offers, my language, my style, my experience. And all I have to do is ask her, hey, I'm thinking about this today and I want to explore, and literally writes a post for me about that topic. And then I can take that post and say, create a gamma outline for me. And I created a custom GPT that is specifically for gamma. Well, I shared that with all of my clients in my AI mastermind, and they were like, what is this for? Put anything in there and it'll turn it into a gamma outline for you. And they were like, oh my God, what is possible with this? And that's the exciting part of this. If you actually are future-spective, right? Prospective on the future and where this is going to go, I think as coaches, as consultants, the opportunities are endless. If 80% of business owners and companies are not embracing AI, maybe they're dabbling, but they're not at our level. Think of the opportunity there for you and I. That's just incredible to me.
All right, Suzanne, do you want to blow some minds and see the absolute pinnacle of exactly what you just said? That can be the most valuable thing that somebody hears all month right now. So hopefully hopefully the share screen works. So, all right, I'm going to share my screen and see if this allows this to work.
One of my clients just commented, I'm learning as fast as I can, STK. Stepping in and playing makes all the difference. So I love that.
1,000,000%. So I'm not sure if, okay, it's not going to allow me to share my screen right now. It's telling me to restart.
Oh.
So I will do this audio then. So here is the biggest unlock that nobody will talk about regarding AI and everything you just said about building your omnipresent brand. It is all around the concept around having a single source of truth. One of the things that is going to be a metric of success for businesses that are building an AI first business is structure and organization. Because we hear the term, here come the AI agents and all of that stuff there. And essentially it's just a digital employee who's going to do stuff for you. But in order for an employee to do things for you, what do they need? They need a system, a process, a workflow. They need things that are written down.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So one of the challenges of the AI era, and I know we've both felt this, is our ability to create gold in abundance. You can have a 1-hour session with ChatGPT, and the next thing you know, you're like, boom, 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 boom. There's like 10 different things right there, and your mind is like, this is unbelievable. I could build a rocket ship to the moon. But then you go 2 days later, and you're like, I didn't ship any of that. And I realized that myself, and I was like, I am completely under indexing my potential, because all of those are real things of business that I could move forward. So we've got Claude, we've got ChatGPT, maybe Gemini, all these other, there's stuff all over the place. And I hear from clients, Rob, we have things in Google Drive, we have stuff in Monday, we have all over the place, right? So there's no integrity on their data, not data in a nerd way, data in terms of like, this is just what I have written down for my business. So the key in all of this to stop being your own bottleneck is there's got to be one source of truth where you can house everything that you do, including your entire production workflow with your virtual assistant or your team. And what I was going to show you is I've started using Notion as my AI OS. I call it my AI operating system. And I am not romantic about Notion. It's just a project management tool that is the most recommended one from every person that I hear, right? So with this, what you have the ability to do is to put in all of your systems, your processes, your workflows, your ideas as Suzanne, the CEO, the CMO, the CFO, the CTO, the various buckets of this thing right here. Because you know what most people say, Suzanne? Oh, all of those ideas are in my head. Or, oh, what's your social media strategy? Oh, it's just in my head. Well, what happens when that assistant of yours who has everything in their head leaves? Well, guess what? Now you're starting back at zero. So the key of all of this is your ability to have a process that takes it out of AI and puts it into somewhere. I don't care if it's Trello, Monday, Notion, whatever it is. Create your own single source of truth, because when you have your single source of truth, what does it do? Number one, it gives you visibility into your entire world. Number two, it gives you accountability, because you can now tag your team member, tag your assistant on this is the thing that you want to do. So why am I sharing this? Because once I created this for myself, logically, like you and I do, I then introduced it to my clients. And one of my clients— Did you
make a Notion template?
Of course I did that. I built it all for myself. I duplicated it. And my client's like, well, where do I start, Rob? And I was like, well, how about I just give you the thing that I did and you just customize this for yourself, right?
Yeah.
I wish I could share my screen right now because it would add some context.
Yeah, let me see.
No, it's not on you. It's on hashtag creator problems. I got a brand new computer and it's making me say, put this in the settings. To do that, we need to close Google Chrome. And I'm like, I'm not leaving this podcast anyways.
No. All right. So we will share, if you have a Notion template that's available either for free or for sale, we'll share that in the comments after we're done with this conversation, because that is the single biggest struggle I've found with my AI enthusiast clients. Where do I put all of the output? Where do I store all these things I'm creating, all these SOPs, all these workshop ideas? I use Evernote myself because I'm a Mac user. Evernote syncs between my phone and my computer very nicely. And I reorganized my whole Evernote to, have workshop ideas, prompt ideas, all of my offers and all of the assets I've created for each offer are all organized in folders. It's incredible. I'm obsessed because when I'm out in the real world and I get inspired by something, I have ChatGPT on my phone and I can say, "Hey, I'm thinking about this." And I talk to it like it's, a person. And, "Hey, I'm thinking about this concept of being an AI enablement coach for CEOs and companies. What does that look like? Help me explore how that fits into my brand." And when I did that, the output that I received, it just made so much sense. Copy, paste it into my Evernote on my phone while I was sitting waiting for the oil change of my car. I get home, it's right on my computer and I'm ready to go. So if you don't have something like that, we need to talk because this is the key to being more successful with AI. I
And
truly believe.
here's the thing. We are not slinging tools right now. This
Yeah,
is actually just business 101, right?
right.
Of
Right.
where's all your SOPs? Because I had a client who's a property management company who had a 500-page process document and
Mhm.
nobody in their company could use it or figure it out. So it's like, hey, turn it into a custom GPT to where your team members can enter that and then use Notion, go by department, have everybody put every SOP so that one person's not spending 100 hours on it. Each
Yeah.
person is spending 1 hour on it. And now, guess what? There's visibility and flow into the entire organization right there.
Mhm.
And this is what being AI first from a mentality standpoint. The
Mhm.
number one thing I want everybody to hear in this, which is the biggest gift and blessing that if you can see this, it'll change your life. All of this is just thinking. This is all free. And this is just
Yeah.
all a perspective for how you and I see growing in the
Yeah.
way business is done right now. This isn't about tech. This isn't about coding. This isn't about automation. This isn't about anything other than when I use ChatGPT for the first time, Suzanne, one of the things that's a superpower for me is so many people would be like, it told me George Washington went to the moon. See, ChatGPT's dumb. It doesn't work. And I sat there and I'm like, that's completely irrelevant for me. How do I turn $1 into $1.50? Because the only thing I care about in leveraging AI is the word growth. All I want to do is grow. How can I grow in what areas of my business, in my life? And if you can just come from that lens and then you see it as a canvas, because if you can give yourself the gift of having the mindset of possibility, you said this,
Yeah.
in the AI era, a possibility mindset, it'll change your life forever because it can write you a tweet or build you a rocket ship to the moon. Everything in between is the capacity you get to choose.
Well, what I love, and I want to pull out something you just said. Nobody needs more information, right? So my job in this space as a coach, as a mentor, as a guide for my members, is not to teach you more tools. It's to have you change the way you're thinking about the tasks that you're doing, about the opportunities that are in front of you. And I, I can't remember who said this. It's somebody that I read their newsletter. And they said nobody needs more information in this space. You can go to YouTube, you can Google search, now you can AI your information. You can ask Chat GPT, how do I use Chat GPT? Hey Chat GPT, how do I use Gamma? Like nobody needs more information, but they do need change my thinking, change my performance. And if you just open your mind and get 1% better every day, at the end of the year, you're 365% improvement. And this is what people are missing about AI.
I love it, Suzanne. What's happening in the background right now, I am so excited about because I am creating something that's very on brand for this conversation right here, which will
Uh-huh.
be the best thing I've ever created in my entire life.
Okay.
Using Gamma, called the unlimited method. Go from AI curious to AI dangerous in 1 day.
Ooh,
So get
AI
this. So
curious, AI curious to AI dangerous. I'm in. Let's
in
go.
1 day.
Yeah.
So it's August 1st, and I'm doing a keynote to the Florida Professionals Association in Orlando, their summer conference, and there's 80 business owners in the room.
Okay.
And I'm the opening keynote there to talk about AI. And the organizers say, hey, Rob, the room is very early to AI. Most people aren't using it, or if they are, it's barely. And for so much of the way that I've done business, I work with the best who want to be the best, high performers, CEO, like, right? This growth mindset of what you and I are talking about there. But by design, I had to go to the very beginning in this keynote speech right there. And so much so that it was like, I won't say it's incongruent because it's a little bit different, because I'm used to having a conversation like this with you, right? We can go and build rocket ships, but it's like, hey, so by design, I was like, all right, step one, make sure you download the ChatGPT app. Step two, make sure you're on the paid version. It's a non-negotiable. Step three, make sure you set up your custom instructions. So I just walked them step by step by step. And one of the panelists came up to me afterwards and said, Rob, when you said sign up for the paid version, it's a non-negotiable, I watched 12 out of the 80 people in the room sign up on the spot. Then after I was done with my talk, I've never had more people in my life come up to me and say, Rob, you just changed my business. I had no idea you could do ... And why am I sharing this? Because the light bulb went off for me. There's another demographic that I serve. It is business owners who are at the very beginning of their journey. And while I love to help businesses that want to just scale and create impact and revenue and all of this stuff, you know where the bigger opportunity is? The very beginning, where you can take them from 0 to 1,000 like this, where they go, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So after experiencing that, and once again, just like you, we have the same conversations with clients and all of these things. So even though that room was brand new to AI, that's actually no different than that 500K room or that CEO room you said, because they are still going through the same thing. So what I've been doing using Gamma is reverse engineering. If I was going to teach someone how to become AI dangerous as fast as possible, not watch more courses, not more information, just 500 hours of coaching, what would you do? That's what I've been building. It's going to be launching in the next 2 weeks. And it is something that, and you know why I did this? Because for so much of the market, they are great at so many things in life. And then when it comes to AI, they feel incongruent. They're uncertain. They don't know what to do. And that's not a feeling they're used to, right? They don't like the idea of, I don't know this thing that could be changing everything. And for the other segment of people, they just don't even know where to start. But how about go to a master? And you said this, no one needs more information. What they need is change my thinking, change my performance. And guess what the industry you and I are in does? Here's my $27 prompt pack. Oh, let me show you how you can grow your business in 4 minutes and make $1 bajillion. I get it. I want to teach you how to fish, not give you a fish.
Yes. And you know what? It's reminding me of when I was a health coach. You know, I had this long career in dentistry, and I was teaching fitness classes as a hobby, mainly because I got paid $75 an hour to teach a spin class, and it held me accountable to showing up and doing the class, right? Well, I met clients because I was performing at a level that they wanted to be at. And so after class, people would ask, well, how'd you put that music together? How did you talk the whole time? How did you teach while you were actually exercising? Well, that's breathing, and that's, you know, so it became a whole platform for me to actually work with people and health coach them, from performance to breathing to body fat and the whole thing. And here's what was interesting. The people in the room who were very, very beginner, they didn't benefit as much from what I was teaching, because they had to lose 50 pounds first or 100 pounds first before they could increase their performance. And I see this opportunity with AI very, very similar, that you have to get the foundation first. You have to learn the basics first. I didn't become a tech genius overnight. I didn't learn ClickFunnels, Go High Level, Kajabi, Wix, like all these platforms. I can now log on and do my thing, right? I didn't learn that overnight. It was a building process. And then once you learn one, you're better at the next one, right? And so I love what you're saying, this idea that taking it all the way back to the basics, because if 80% of people are not using, doing, experimenting, it's an opportunity of a lifetime to learn from your experience.
You want a little sneak preview of what's included in this?
Yeah.
Make it super, is value driven for everybody.
Okay.
So this was all around, and there's always game behind the game. So
Yeah.
I'm building this as a productized service because you and I can't take on 100 clients for one-on-one. We're just not scalable from that. Yes, we can do the speaking and the workshops and all of that. So I want something that scales me. And one of my mentors is a guy named Dan Martell, who wrote the book, Buy Back Your Time. And he says, with a productized service, I want you to create a document that is worth $2,000 to $10,000 on its own. On its own, it's worth $2,000 to $10,000. So that was my mindset going into this. You're going to go from curious to dangerous in one day. And then in doing so, I'm like, well, how do I want to deliver this? As a PDF? No, let's go over to Gamma to same experience here. But with this was now about creating a methodology, because the thing, and you know this by being a coach who's done the work, anybody can just say things of like, oh, here's my prompts, right? You can go on Twitter right now and you can create a 300 prompt pack and sell it for $19 and be like, I know all about AI, but I got to see the receipts of what you can do. So in this methodology, one of my favorite quotes is, a master knows what not to include.
Oh, okay. Say more.
Because what did you say? No one needs more information. So simple is harder because simple is easy.
Yes.
Because right now we live in a world with so much that if I can be so great at what I do, where I'm like, just do these 3 things. So the unlimited method, and this is for anybody who wants to succeed in the AI era. There's only 3 things you need to think about. Number 1, personalization. Number 2, the way that you think. And number 3, the way that you create. If you personalize your experience with AI, it's your data, it's an extension of you. Because the thing that everybody's messing up is they're outsourcing everything to the robots. The thing that makes you and I amazing is it's all based on our data of who we are. And most people don't even understand this.
Yes. Some of the stories I write with AI, my own family, son, husband, friends, they're like, did AI write that story? Yes, it's my details. It's a true story, but it's made me such a better writer and a better, here's what's important in the online space: hook, story, transition to your product or service, call to action. I was horrible at that before AI. AI has made me a rock star at that.
Of course. And then number 2 is think, and you said it, change my thinking. What if I can just give you the 6 things you need to think about that'll totally change your perspective in the AI era? Because you know what I hear over and over again from clients? Wow, Rob, I just never would have thought of that. Well, what if by design we give you the I've never thought of that before from the people who are already doing this? So when you've personalized it and then now you're thinking like the best in the world, what's the last thing that we do? How do you create with AI? So now fundamentally we're in the world of possibility there to where, are we going to play small or are we going to play big? Are we going to talk to it like it's an employee? And now these little frameworks, just dink, 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 dink. I'm confident after one day, someone can do this and it'll change your life forever.
I love
Personalized Think creates.
So how is this going to be a product for you? What is that? going to look like?
So here's the game behind the game here. So
Okay.
this is being built in Gamma as we speak. Like, it's what I'm going to be the next 2 weeks. I'm finishing writing this. And here's the crazy thing. Despite the fact that we said we use AI for writing and all of this stuff, I am not using AI to write this. And you know why? Because it's the word you said, information. I am not going to succeed if the thing that I am slinging is just let me tell you more about AI. I've got to get so good at telling stories of the first moment when, or this is like riding a bike. And now I'm changing the lens because facts tell, stories sell. So now this is a story driven. But then with that, guess what? This isn't just information, it's an experience. So it's like, now that you've got these light bulbs, let's reveal the invisible. What are you not seeing? Cool. Now put in this prompt for yourself and it goes, so now you can see, like you and I did with Gamma, in all of this. But guess what I'm also doing? Keynote speaking, one-to-many workshops, internal with B2B companies. And guess what I'm going to be bringing to the table? The unlimited method. So Rob will have a methodology behind the transformation where I don't have to keep changing what I'm doing. It's just, hey, let's look at where you're personalizing. Let's look at how we're thinking. Let's look at how we're creating. So of course, there's just the roadmap itself, which is the do-it-yourself version. There will likely be some sort of one-to-many group experience. My one-on-one coaching is completely changing now because it's no longer what would you love to create today. It can be a guided experience through this. And then when I'm speaking from stage at sold-out arenas, guess what it's going to be about? How I can help transform you and think about dink, dink, dink.
I love
all aligned. Does that make sense?
So much that I think we could continue this conversation for 2 hours, but I actually have a client today. So now here's my next question for you. When this is ready, I would love to see it, number one. I would love to share it, number two. And I would love to continue this conversation and see how we can bring this awareness to more people. I think this is going to be a huge hit with my tribe who hears about AI from me all the time. And I'm going to be totally transparent that I think we could create something incredible together. I don't know what it is, but I think it would be incredible. And I was just offered to be in this mastermind group for AI and some really high level people in the group. And I don't mean AI people, I mean entrepreneurs, business owners. And when I looked at the opportunity, I thought, what am I going to learn in this group? And really had to evaluate, am I just joining the group for the other people in this group? Or am I joining to advance my AI knowledge? And the answer was, I'm just joining for the people. So it has to be a no, because my time is so finite as a business owner. And I want to stress that with everybody. You can't become an AI expert overnight, but if you devote some time to it every single day, exactly what you said, 30 minutes a day, an hour a day, you can quantum jump how you're operating in this space. And I don't want to be in rooms where I am the teacher all the time. I want to be in rooms where I am learning and growing and advancing my skills. So that's kind of where I'm thinking for the next year, 2 years, 3 years. I need to hang out with people who are thinking and operating like me. And I'm so glad I reached out to you and started the conversation. And that's another message I love to share. Don't be afraid to reach out to people that you respect, that you see doing incredible stuff in your own space. I mean, realistically, we're doing the same thing in the same space, but we're still different. And I'm so glad I reached out to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being receptive and open to the conversation and being such a rock star today.
You're welcome. I'm in for that. I love your energy, your vibe. I want to be around other people like you because we don't exactly grow on trees. I look around and I'm like, is there anybody else who speaks this language right here? I do want to give your audience a quick gift real quick that can really help level them up. If you follow me on Instagram at Rob Cressy, or if you're seeing this on LinkedIn or Facebook, you can do the same. Just shoot me a DM that says STK. And what I will do is I will send you my high performers guide to creating with ChatGPT. And what it is just when you're at the very beginning of your journey right there, I just want to help show you the things that you might not be seeing right now from the very 0 to 1. So just DM me STK at Rob Cressy on whatever platform you're on.
Love it. Thank you so much, Rob. Can't wait to see what you create. It's going to be fun.
I appreciate it.
Have a great day.